Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to I Love a Good Story. Today we are talking with Claudette Sutherland.
Yes.
Claudette was a Broadway actress on most notably How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying with Robert Morris, right?
Yes. Back in the 60s, I was the original Smitty.
The original Smitty.
I was a baby girl.
And so I want to move way forward because this is a storytelling site, and I kind of want to talk a little bit about writing and storytelling. So when did you decide, I'm going to write, or were you always a writer?
I had always written, but I was not a writer, but I always wrote. And it was a way of keeping track of what I was thinking about. It wasn't a journal. It was, as I said, it was talking on paper. But what I found out about storytelling is not exclusive to writing. Everybody tells stories. Actors tell stories, dancers tell stories, painters tell stories. And so I really, when I started teaching creative writing, which is what I do now, I'm teaching storytelling. I'm teaching the principles of good writing, but the aim is for story. And so it's not one thing, it's borrowing from all these other disciplines. Being an actor for years, I'm borrowing from what I knew and what I did as an actor, and it translates over onto writing because it's all about the same process or versions of it.
So do you ask people, do you have them start writing, or do you have them start talking, or how, do you,
yes.
how is it?
I have them start writing.
You do? Okay.
Yes, I say, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little free write. I'm going to give you which is very common, I'm going to give you a phrase or a word, and you're going to start, and you write until I say stop, and then we all read it aloud. So everybody gets busy, and they write, and they write, and they write, and then I say stop, and then I say, okay, read what you wrote, and they go, oh. I say, no, read what you wrote. There's no comment on it. So we go around the table, we read it. I've written two, I read mine, and then I pick it up and I tear it in small pieces and I say, and that's the way it goes. There's more where that came from.
Well, so those are writing prompts, yes, that you give them, and so you
But that
always
is-
start it off like that so that everybody kind of warms
When
into.
people are new, yes, because the most important thing for artists is to make a place that's safe for people to explore and for people to see what they've got. Sometimes they get big surprises. Sometimes people don't know that they've got a lot of stuff going on. And what I do is I really teach principles of good writing, because it doesn't matter to me whether it's a screenplay, whether it's an essay, whether it's fiction, whether it's nonfiction, whether it's memoir. I deal with all of those things because they all have principles of good writing that make them work.
And that's so true, because you can listen to a story and the person will annihilate it because they don't know the foundation of good writing.
Exactly.
Or other, the same thing is that a story will carry even though it's not well performed, but because the good writing basics are there, it's
Basically,
they can sell
the person has to get out of their own way. They have to stop overwriting and understand that they need to trust a simple sentence, and that they need to trust their senses. And once you've got your senses going, everything is fine.
So how long have you been teaching?
About 18 years.
And did you just say, okay, I'm going to do this?
What I said was the business wasn't being kind to me anymore. I came out here when I was in my 50s as an actress, and I worked some. I did guesting and that sort of thing, and then as the business began to slide away, and me with it, I said, this isn't good enough. I need to feel creative, and I know how to do this. So I started doing that, but what's interesting is that's some years ago, and now I'm getting ready to step back in the business again for a little bit and see what's happened.
Yes.
I want to see what the changes are.
I want to see what's happened, Speedy.
And I've got this hair now that I didn't have before.
Beautiful.
So
beautiful.
How could I be blend?
That's great. So I noticed you have lots of people that know who you are, so you've got a bunch of people that study with you.
I know.
And they are all different walks of life. They're in all different mediums. I noticed, I meant that there was a musician, they studied with you, and a salesperson, so it's everybody.
I got everybody, and because that language of storytelling is a universal language, and the job of a good teacher is simply to open a couple of doors for people. So once the doors open, they really know what they're doing. So it's been fun to watch some of the work. I don't care whether people get published or not. That's not my aim. But because there's no expectation hanging on that, people do get published. So I've got about 8 books that have come out of that, these seminars and workshops, actually.
8 books from other people?
Yes,
Other
yes.
people have written.
Yeah.
And do you say, what about, do people come to you weekly?
Yes, I have weekly workshops that go on, and some people, well, if you're working on a novel, it takes a long time, and some people will be with me with their work for 5 or 6 years. And others will come in to find out if they're interested in writing, and if they are, fine, and if they're not, they move on. But I'm up for anything.
Okay, what happens, what would you tell a person that had writer's block? I don't want to say writer's block, but that just everything they write, they don't like.
They're stuck.
They're stuck.
Yeah, well, I just remind them that you have to move through that, and you best move through it with me, because I won't let you get in your own way, and I won't let you criticize yourself, and I won't let you carry the critic into the room. You got to leave him at the front door, and you know.
Where can they find you?
Oh, they can find me at my website, which is gotoclaudette.com. Although, when I first bought that domain name, and I would say to people, just go to Claudette.com. People went to it years ago, and it was a porn star. So I have to say www.gotoclaudette.com.
Key, you heard that first, right here. So if you get to the porn site and it doesn't do anything for you, then you can
come over here
and write about it.
Yeah.
Claudette, thank you so much.
You bet,
for
honey.
joining us. Thank you.
Really a pleasure.
Thank you. And this is I Love a Good Story. Signing off for now. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.